Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to the most complete spoken English course on YouTube, where you learn English without boring grammar, without textbooks, and without stress. Here, you learn by listening to real-life stories and answering simple questions that will boost your fluency. Today's story is called My Teacher Yelled at Me and I Froze. Let's begin. It was a Tuesday morning and I had just turned 11. My name is Ethan, and this story happened in my 5th grade year. That day started out like any other. I woke up at 6:45, brushed my teeth, threw on my uniform, and ate 2 slices of toast with peanut butter. Mom gave me my lunchbox and said, "Have a great day." I smiled back, feeling good. I had even studied for my science quiz the night before. I got on the bus, sat near the window, and watched the trees go by. When I arrived at school, I walked into class with my books and my pencil case. Our teacher, Mr. Porter, was already standing at the board, writing something in red marker. Mr. Porter was known for being strict. He wore the same brown jacket almost every day, had a deep voice, and didn't like when students whispered or moved around too much. But I respected him. I thought he was fair, even if he was a little scary. That day, he said we'd start with a short quiz on ecosystems. I felt ready. He passed the papers down each row, and I took a deep breath. 10 questions. All things I remembered. I finished early and checked my answers twice. Then I closed my eyes and waited for the bell to ring so we could move on to art class, my favorite. But that's when it happened. As Mr. Porter walked around collecting the quizzes, he suddenly stopped at the desk in front of me. "Whose paper is this?" he asked loudly. Everyone looked up. No one answered. "This paper has no name," he shouted. He looked at the student in front of me, Jordan, and asked, "Is this yours?" Jordan shook his head nervously. Then Mr. Porter turned to me. "Ethan," he said, "is this your quiz?" I looked at the paper and realized, yes, it was mine. In my rush to finish early and check everything, I had completely forgotten to write my name. I opened my mouth to explain, but no words came out. I froze. My heart started racing. My palms got sweaty. Mr. Porter's face got red. "You always write your name," he yelled. "This is basic. This is the first thing you learn in school." The entire class stared at me. Some kids giggled. Some looked shocked. I tried to speak again, but nothing came out. Not even a whisper. I felt like my voice had disappeared. Mr. Porter continued, "How do you expect to succeed if you can't even write your name?" I just stood there, frozen. I wasn't even mad at him. I was ashamed. I had studied. I had done everything right. But in that moment, all that mattered was that I had made a mistake, and he had yelled at me in front of everyone. The bell rang. Art class started, but I wasn't excited anymore. I sat at my table and pretended to be focused on drawing, but my mind kept repeating Mr. Porter's words. That afternoon, I went straight to my room and shut the door. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't even want to eat dinner. Later that night, my mom knocked on my door and sat on the edge of my bed. She said, "You've been quiet today. Did something happen at school?" I told her the whole story, about the quiz, the missing name, the yelling. She hugged me and said, "I'm proud of you for telling me. Everyone makes mistakes, Ethan. It doesn't mean you're not smart." Then she said something I'll never forget. A teacher's job is to teach, not to humiliate. The next day, I was afraid to go back to school. What if Mr. Porter yelled at me again? What if everyone laughed about it again? But I went anyway. I walked into class slowly and sat in my seat. To my surprise, Mr. Porter came over to my desk before class started. He knelt beside me and said in a softer voice, "Ethan, I was too harsh yesterday. I'm sorry." I looked at him, shocked. He continued, "You're a good student. I saw your quiz score, 9 out of 10. You did great. Just remember to put your name next time, okay?" I nodded slowly. He stood up and began teaching. That day, I learned 2 important lessons. 1. Mistakes don't define us. 2. Even adults can admit when they're wrong. And that's why I'll never forget the day my teacher yelled at me and I froze. Now, it's time for your quiz. Let's test how much you understood from the story. Remember, answer out loud and you have 5 seconds to respond after each question. Ready? Let's go. What was the name of the student in the story? His name was Ethan, and the story took place during his 5th grade year when he was 11 years old. Why did Ethan feel confident at the beginning of the day? He had studied for his science quiz, had a good breakfast, and felt prepared to participate in class. Who was Mr. Porter, and how did students see him? Mr. Porter was Ethan's strict science teacher. He was respected but also feared by many students because of his serious attitude. What mistake did Ethan make during the quiz? He forgot to write his name on the quiz paper, which led to a misunderstanding with the teacher. How did Mr. Porter react when he found the paper without a name? He got angry, yelled in front of the class, and questioned how a student could forget something so basic. Why didn't Ethan speak when Mr. Porter questioned him? He was so nervous and shocked that he completely froze and couldn't find the words to explain himself. How did the other students react during the incident? Some were shocked, while others giggled or stared, making Ethan feel even more embarrassed. What did Ethan do when he got home after school? He went straight to his room, stayed quiet, and eventually told his mom everything that happened. What was his mom's advice? She reminded him that everyone makes mistakes and told him that it's a teacher's job to guide, not to embarrass. What happened the next day between Mr. Porter and Ethan? Mr. Porter apologized privately to Ethan, acknowledged his mistake, and praised Ethan's quiz score. Great job. Even if you didn't get all the answers, remember, the goal is to practice speaking and listening. Now let's go over some vocabulary from today's story. Let's take a closer look at some key words and expressions from the story. Froze. To suddenly be unable to move or speak, usually from fear or surprise. Example: when the dog barked loudly, she froze in place. Humiliate. To make someone feel very embarrassed or ashamed. Example: the teacher humiliated the student by yelling in front of the class. Giggle. To laugh in a light, silly way. Example: the children giggled at the funny cartoon. Strict. Someone who enforces rules firmly and expects discipline. Example: our math teacher is very strict about homework. Palms got sweaty. A physical reaction to stress or nervousness. Example: his palms got sweaty before the speech. Mistake. Something that is incorrect or wrong. Example: forgetting your homework is a common mistake. Apologize. To say sorry for something wrong you've done. Example: he apologized for being late to the meeting. Quiz. A short test to check knowledge. Example: the teacher gave a pop quiz on vocabulary. Soft voice. Speaking gently and quietly. Example: he spoke in a soft voice to calm the baby. Proud. feeling happy about someone's actions or success. Example: she was proud of her daughter's achievement. Thank you so much for watching this video until the end. You are doing something amazing by learning English with stories. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends so more people can enjoy these stories and learn English the easy way. This is Docentes DigitalesTV, where you learn to speak English fast, easy, and with confidence. See you in the next video.